The career of Benny Hill remains one of the most recognizable in British television history, largely due to the global popularity of The Benny Hill Show. Known for its rapid-fire slapstick, musical parodies, and exaggerated visual humor, the show entertained audiences for decades across multiple continents. However, beneath its playful surface, debates about taste, censorship, and changing cultural norms gradually surrounded Hill's work. What was once considered harmless comedy increasingly came under scrutiny as public attitudes evolved during the late 20th century. Critics argued that certain sketches reflected outdated portrayals of gender and social roles, while supporters defended the show as a product of its time. This tension eventually contributed to declining support for the program, setting the stage for its eventual cancellation. The story of Benny Hill is therefore not only one of entertainment success, but also of how shifting cultural expectations can reshape a performer's legacy. Early life and family background. Benny Hill was born Alfred Hawthorne Hill in Southampton, England, into a family with modest working-class roots and subtle ties to performance tradition. His grandfather had worked as a circus clown, an influence often cited as an early spark in Hill's fascination with comedy and stage performance. His father managed a surgical appliance shop, providing stability but little connection to entertainment. Growing up, Hill experienced a mixture of discipline and imagination, shaping his ability to observe everyday behavior and later exaggerate it for comedic effect. He attended school in Southampton, but did not follow a clearly defined academic path toward the arts. Instead, he worked a variety of jobs including as a milkman, driver, and shop assistant. These early experiences exposed him to a wide range of personalities and social environments, which later became valuable material for his character-driven humor. His early life reflects the gradual formation of a performer who learned comedy through observation rather than formal training. Military service and wartime influence. During World War II, Benny Hill was conscripted into the British Army, where he served in the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. His training focused on mechanical repair and vehicle maintenance, skills that placed him in essential logistical roles during the conflict. He later served as a driver and searchlight operator, contributing to defensive operations against aerial attacks. One of the most significant phases of his service was his involvement in the Normandy campaign in 1944, a turning point in the Allied effort in Western Europe. Beyond technical duties, Hill's time in the military also exposed him to structured teamwork and disciplined timing, qualities that would later influence his comedic pacing. Near the end of the war, he joined the Combined Services Entertainment Division, where he performed for troops. This experience allowed him to develop stage confidence and experiment with comedy in real performance conditions, laying the foundation for his future entertainment career. Early influences and stage identity. The comedic identity of Benny Hill was shaped by a blend of British music hall traditions and international performers, particularly the American entertainer Jack Benny. Music hall comedy, known for exaggerated characters, slapstick routines, and direct audience engagement, strongly influenced Hill's performance style. Inspired by these traditions, he adopted the name Benny as a stage identity, reflecting admiration for established comedic figures. His approach combined physical humor with wordplay and parody, creating a style that could be easily understood across language barriers. This universality later became a key factor in his international success. Hill's early experimentation with timing, facial expressions, and silent comedy gestures also distinguished him from many contemporaries who relied heavily on dialogue. By blending visual and verbal humor, he built a flexible comedic foundation that allowed him to adapt to both radio and television formats as his career progressed. Radio breakthrough and early recognition. Benny Hill first gained significant public attention through radio, particularly on programs such as Variety Bandbox. Radio in the late 1940s was a dominant form of entertainment, and it provided Hill with an important platform to refine his comedic timing. Without visual cues, he relied on voice modulation, pacing, and dialogue-driven humor to engage audiences. This limitation encouraged him to sharpen his writing and develop clear, punchy comedic setups. His performances gradually gained popularity, leading to further opportunities within the BBC's comedy programming. Although his early radio work was uneven in reception, it helped him establish industry connections and build confidence as a performer. This period also marked his transition from experimental entertainer to professional comedian. The experience he gained during radio broadcasting became essential when television began to emerge as the next major entertainment medium in Britain. Transition to television and expanding creativity. The rise of television in the 1950s provided a new creative outlet for Benny Hill, allowing him to expand beyond vocal performance into physical comedy. His early television appearances demonstrated a natural ease in front of the camera, particularly in sketches that relied on visual exaggeration and mime-like expression. This shift enabled him to experiment with broader comedic techniques, including slapstick routines and situational parody. Television also introduced him to a wider audience, significantly increasing his visibility across the United Kingdom. Unlike radio, television required precise coordination of movement, timing, and visual storytelling, all of which suited Hill's emerging style. He quickly adapted to these demands, refining his ability to communicate humor without relying solely on dialogue. This period laid the groundwork for his later success, as it allowed him to merge traditional comedy influences with modern broadcast technology in a way that felt fresh and accessible. Shakespeare adaptation and artistic range. In an unexpected but notable career moment, Benny Hill appeared in a televised adaptation of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. In this production, he portrayed Nick Bottom, a character already rich with comedic potential due to his theatrical absurdity and exaggerated personality. The role allowed Hill to demonstrate that his abilities extended beyond sketch comedy into classical performance. While still comedic in nature, the Shakespearean setting required a different kind of timing and emotional awareness. His interpretation blended traditional acting with his signature humor, creating a performance that was both respectful of the source material and distinctly his own. This appearance helped broaden perceptions of Hill as an entertainer capable of adapting to different artistic contexts. It also highlighted his willingness to experiment with roles outside his established comedic identity, reinforcing his versatility during the early stages of his television career. Continued radio work and character development. Even as television gained prominence, Benny Hill continued to contribute to radio programming, most notably through shows like Benny Hill Time. These broadcasts allowed him to refine recurring characters and develop satirical sketches based on contemporary events. His humor during this period often included parodies of popular culture, political figures, and international entertainment trends. Characters such as Fred Scuttle became recognizable staples, showcasing his ability to create memorable comedic personas with distinct physical and vocal traits. This period also demonstrated Hill's growing interest in satire, as he increasingly incorporated commentary on modern society into his routines. Radio remained an important creative space for experimentation, even as television became his dominant platform. The combination of recurring characters and topical humor helped him build a loyal audience base, preparing the way for the more visually driven comedy that would define his later television success. Early challenges and creative struggles. Despite his growing recognition, Benny Hill faced significant challenges in establishing a consistent career trajectory. Early television and stage performances were met with mixed critical responses, with some reviewers praising his originality while others questioned the substance of his humor. This inconsistency reflected broader uncertainties in post-war British entertainment, where traditional and modern comedic styles often clashed. Hill's reliance on physical comedy was sometimes seen as outdated, even as audiences continued to enjoy it. These mixed reactions forced him to continually adapt and refine his material. Rather than abandoning his style, he doubled down on visual storytelling and exaggerated performance, gradually developing a more distinctive comedic identity. This persistence played a crucial role in his eventual breakthrough, as it allowed him to refine the elements that would later define his most successful work on television. Launch of The Benny Hill Show and BBC success. The official launch of The Benny Hill Show in 1955 marked a turning point in Benny Hill's career. Broadcast by the BBC, the program combined sketches, musical numbers, and character-driven comedy in a format inspired by traditional variety entertainment. Hill's writing emphasized timing, repetition, and visual exaggeration, creating sketches that were accessible to a broad audience. The show also introduced a rotating cast of supporting performers who helped bring his ideas to life, contributing to its dynamic and fast-paced structure. During its early years, the program evolved gradually, experimenting with different formats and comedic styles. Its success demonstrated Hill's ability to translate stage-inspired comedy into the television medium effectively. Over time, it became one of the BBC's most recognizable comedy exports, establishing Hill as a leading figure in British entertainment. BBC-era style and recurring performers. Throughout its BBC run, The Benny Hill Show developed a distinctive comedic identity centered on slapstick, parody, and ensemble performance. Benny Hill worked with a variety of performers who became recurring figures in sketches, helping to build continuity and audience familiarity. Actors such as Jackie Wright became especially well known for their participation in physical comedy routines that emphasized exaggerated reactions and timing. The show's humor often relied on visual gags, chase sequences, and rapid editing techniques that heightened comedic intensity. Music also played a key role, with synchronized routines adding rhythm and structure to sketches. This combination of elements created a recognizable formula that resonated with viewers for years. However, as cultural expectations shifted, some aspects of the humor began to attract criticism, particularly regarding portrayal of gender roles and physical exaggeration. Despite this, the show remained popular throughout much of its BBC tenure. Transition to Thames Television and global reach. A major shift occurred when The Benny Hill Show moved from the BBC to Thames Television in 1969. This transition allowed Benny Hill greater creative freedom and longer format specials, often running for an hour. The expanded format enabled more elaborate sketches, larger ensemble scenes, and higher production values. During this period, the show achieved international distribution, eventually reaching audiences in more than 100 countries. Its visual style proved especially effective abroad, as physical comedy required little translation. The famous chase sequences, featuring fast-paced movement and comedic chaos, became a defining feature of the series. These segments relied on accelerated filming techniques to enhance the sense of absurdity and energy. The global success of the show turned Hill into an internationally recognized figure, even as debates about the content of his humor began to intensify in some regions. Controversy, cultural change, and legacy. In later years, Benny Hill faced increasing criticism as cultural attitudes toward comedy evolved. While The Benny Hill Show remained popular with many viewers, some sketches were reassessed through a modern lens, particularly those involving exaggerated gender dynamics and physical humor. Critics argued that certain routines reflected outdated stereotypes, while supporters maintained that the show was intended as broad parody rather than social commentary. As television comedy moved toward more narrative-driven and socially conscious formats, Hill's style began to feel increasingly out of step with industry trends. This shift contributed to the program's eventual decline in prominence during the late 1980s. Despite this, Hill's influence on visual comedy remains significant, particularly in international television and sketch formats. His legacy is complex, defined both by widespread entertainment success and by ongoing debate about the boundaries of comedic expression.